Jake has lived in the same apartment building for 8 months. He knows his neighbor across the hall by face. They nod at each other by the elevator, exchange weather comments in the parking lot, the kind of relationship that exists in millions of American apartment buildings every single day. Neighborly but distant, polite but not personal. And Jake has never thought much about it until the day his neighbor finds out what Jake does for a living. And everything changes. Not dramatically, not obviously, but unmistakably. And Jake realizes something that nobody ever said out loud to him, that the way people treat you has very little to do with who you are, and a great deal to do with what they think you are worth. This is how your neighbors treat you at every level of wealth. And the uncomfortable truth hiding inside every single level. Level 1, $0 to $10,000. Jake is 22. He lives in a basic apartment complex. He drives a 2004 Civic. He carries his groceries in plastic bags from the discount store 2 blocks away. His neighbors are polite. They hold the elevator. They wave from their cars, but there is an invisible dynamic that Jake cannot quite name. The neighbor who owns 2 units in the building never quite makes eye contact. The woman on the 3rd floor who drives a newer car always seems slightly distracted when Jake tries to make conversation. Jake does not know their names, and they do not know his. At level 1, you are scenery. You exist in the peripheral vision of the people around you. You are not disrespected. You are simply not seen. Level 2, $10,000 to $100,000. Jake is 26. He has a better job now, a newer car, nicer clothes, nothing dramatic, just the visible signals of someone who is doing slightly better than before. And something shifts. The neighbor who never made eye contact makes eye contact now. The woman on the 3rd floor asks Jake what he does for work. The building manager who used to take 3 days to fix Jake's maintenance requests starts fixing them the same day. Jake has not changed. His character is identical, his values are identical, his personality is identical. The only thing that changes is the signals he is sending. And the signals change everything. Level 3, $100,000 to $500,000. Jake is 30. He has moved to a nicer building. He drives a paid-off car that is not impressive, but is clearly well maintained. He dresses simply, but well. And here's what Jake notices at this level that he did not expect. People start asking his opinion, not about finance, about everything. The neighbor with the startup asks Jake what he thinks about the business model. The couple down the hall asks Jake for restaurant recommendations. The building super asks Jake if he thinks the new parking policy is fair. Jake has not become an expert in any of these things, but wealth-adjacent signals create a halo effect. People assume that someone who appears financially successful has good judgment across the board. Level 4, $500,000 to $1 million. Jake buys his first home, a modest house in a good neighborhood, and the social dynamics shift again. Homeownership in America carries a specific social signal. It says, I'm staying, I am invested, I am part of this community. His new neighbors introduce themselves within the first week. There are invitations to neighborhood gatherings. There is a neighborhood group chat that someone adds Jake to without being asked. The respect at this level is not about money specifically. It is about perceived stability. People respect neighbors they believe will still be there in 5 years. Level 5, $1 million to $10 million. Jake is 38. His net worth has crossed $1 million, but almost nobody in his life knows this. He still drives a practical car, still lives in a nice but not ostentatious house, still shops at normal grocery stores, and here's the most interesting thing that happens at level 5. The respect becomes quieter, more genuine, less transactional, because the people around Jake at this wealth level are not responding to signals anymore. They genuinely know him. They know what he has built. They know what he values, and the respect they give him is not for the money. It is for the character that built the money. This is the level where the nature of respect fundamentally changes. Level 6, $10 million to $100 million. Jake is 45. His business has grown significantly, and something completely unexpected has happened to how people treat him. The respect has become almost inconvenient. Every conversation has a slight undercurrent of agenda. People want things, introductions, advice, investment, opportunity. The neighbor who used to chat casually by the mailbox now seems slightly rehearsed, like they are managing the interaction rather than just having it. And Jake realizes something that wealthy people almost never say publicly, that extraordinary wealth does not bring more genuine human connection. It often brings less, because the signal becomes so loud that it drowns out the person behind it, and the people who respect you most at this level are usually the ones who knew you before the signal got this loud. Here's the truth about how neighbors treat you at every level of wealth. Most people think respect is something you earn through character, through kindness, through consistency, and those things matter enormously over time, in deep relationships, with people who know you well. But first impressions, elevator nods, parking lot conversations, neighborhood dynamics, those are governed almost entirely by signals. The car in your driveway, the clothes on your back, the address on your mailbox, the job you mention in passing. People make judgments before they make connections, and those judgments determine whether you are scenery or someone worth knowing. Jake learned this not as a cynical lesson, but as a practical one. The signals you send into the world create the first draft of who people think you are. Your character writes the final draft, but most people never get past the first one. You have been decoded. If this video made you think about how you are being seen before you are being known, subscribe to Money Decoder 3004. Every single week, we decode the social and financial forces shaping every American's life. Simply, honestly, and clearly, drop a comment below. Have you ever noticed your neighbors treating you differently based on something they assumed about your finances? Tell me your story. I read every single comment, and I will see you in the next decode.